So today we are here with Hollowboy, and if you've been paying attention to the underground scene lately, then you already know who Hollowboy is. Today we're getting into the mind behind the music and what he got to offer to the music scene. Hollowboy, I appreciate you for coming through today. I've been wanting to have this conversation because I feel like people hear the music, but people don't always hear the person behind it. So my first question I have today for you was, how would you describe yourself as an artist?
I'd like to start by saying thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to speak about, myself and what I, have musically and artistically. To describe myself as an artist, I'm very outgoing and energetic, so expect positive vibes from me. I'm versatile, so expect different things from me. Don't just put me in a box, because you'll soon find out, you know what I'm saying, that I bring a lot to the table. I sing, I rap, I create melodies, I love photography, I love graphic design, so definitely expect just the kind of jumble of awesome creations that we have in the vault, for sure.
When did you first start taking music seriously?
First time that I started taking music seriously, I feel like I started taking music more professionally this year. I gotta shout out to Homie Veli, definitely putting a fire in my soul to just keep going and continuing to pursue the passion, pursue the goal, you know what I'm saying? So definitely this year is when I started really going at it.
What's something people misunderstand about you?
I think something that they misunderstand about me is that I'm just one way. Definitely, I have a lot of emotions as a human being, same way as everyone does. So I create music based on just how I'm feeling. So if I'm feeling like in love, like I'm gonna spit some love, if the song makes me feel sad, I'm gonna talk about things that are sad. If I really wanna get energetic with it, and I'll get energetic with it. So I'm very just outspoken. Definitely don't miss the gems in my lyrics, because sometimes I will get into the the fuckery and the bullshit, but I do like to sprinkle some real truths into my music.
What was the first song you made where you thought, yeah, I got something?
Dang. When I made the song Issues, I made that on BandLab with the homie, and we were just kind of going off, and we kind of created this melody, and we just laced it up on BandLab, and it took me one take just throughout the whole thing, and just the feeling of like accomplishment of, yeah, I could do this, you know what I mean? Like I started something and I finished it. So that was definitely something that made me kind of put more trust in myself. Like, yeah, man, like I got something.
What's your process when you're making a song?
I got many processes. I started falling in love with the process of punching in, just because I come from a freestyling kind of background, especially when I was a little kid singing and doing all of that. I never really had time to really sit down and kind of write, and I have a very ADHD mind, so I feel like when I start to write, I start to think about what I'm gonna say bars ahead, you know what I mean? So I definitely started falling in love with the punch in, punch outs, but I do like to write. I do like to harmonize and kind of just go along with it. I definitely start off with the beat first. If the beat speaks to me, that's when I know, like, yeah, like I could do something on this. I can almost feel the song already within the beat, kind of like the Surf's Up movie with the penguins and shit. How the homie was like shaping out his board, and the other homie, he couldn't fucking shape his board for shit. And he's like, how come you can do that but I can't? And he's like, bro, you gotta envision the board. He's like, the board is in this piece of wood. You just have to find it. Like you're carving to find it. You're like a miner. You're just, you know, chipping away until you find a diamond, and it's already there, you know. So that's definitely one of my processes.
What inspires your music the most right now?
Man, are we going off of like inspirations of like people, like artists, or more so on like just anything that inspires you?
Anything that inspires your music.
I'm a big movie geek, so I like watching movies a lot. I've been kind of paying attention to just how music kind of builds with the story. So I kind of been kind of trying to transfer that within my music as well, and as I build the story, kind of change along the instrument, and kind of more so have those sequences where you can kind of listen to the music and kind of envision a scene in your head. So definitely movies and oldies. I've been listening to a lot of oldies, so I definitely want to do something with oldies. Probably in the next project you might hear something like that. Who knows, you know? Stay tuned though, stay tuned.
What's your biggest fear as an artist?
Dang, that's a good one. I think my biggest fear is letting the homies down. And it's not even like the homies that are around, it's the homies that aren't. So I started doing this when I was really young, and I was chilling with the homie Veli in middle school. We would always, you know, like bang drums and stuff, and because our schools didn't have drums, they just had sticks, so we would bang on like chairs and stuff, making like little drum circles and shit like that. And that kind of inspired me to freestyle, and throughout the time, like I kind of just used rap as kind of like a way to cope with a lot of things. So when I was going through high school and stuff, I was going through a lot of like emotional periods like any teenager does, you know what I'm saying? So I'd fucking, you know, use rap to kind of blow off some steam. And I ended up getting the attention of a homie, Nathan Blanco, and that fool would always come through, and he'd be recording me and shit, and we would always talk about, yo, like we should like get together, bro, and make some music, and be at the studio and shit, make our own studio and make content and do this and that and the third. And that was the first time I kind of started like seeing the vision, you know. And he ended up you know, going through some things, and ultimately, you know, took his own life. And so, you know, I kind of have him in the back of my mind and my heart every time that I do this music shit, and every time that I feel like, damn, like I'm gonna quit this shit, like I always feel like I'm gonna let him down, you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely, you know, a reason why I keep going, for sure.
What's something you're still healing from?
I'm definitely healing from that. After the homie had passed, it was a period of time where it was just like homie after homie after homie, family member after family member, and that shit just kind of traumatized me. I actually seen a homie, you know what I mean, you know, at his final resting spot or whatever, you know, and that kind of left me traumatized, especially seeing how long it takes for police to respond to situations like that, the ambulance too, you know, at least to maybe, you know, I don't know if I'm making shit up, but, you know, definitely I feel like there's something there, like, you know, they don't respond to our peoples a lot, you know, so, you know, that shit definitely left me traumatized, but I use the music for sure to heal, for sure.
Has any of your success recently changed the people around you?
Definitely. I remember, you know what I mean, growing up, I was always the kid that was like, just that odd one out. I always felt like I was just like, you know, just around. The first like friend group that I had, you know, not to put them under the bus or nothing, but you know what I mean, it just seemed like I was just there, you know, and maybe that, you know, I wasn't necessarily loved in the sense that I wanted to, you know. Has success changed people around me? Definitely. You know, people that I used to kick it with that used to hate on me and shit. You know, not to throw anybody under the bus, but you know, a lot of people was, you know, low-key hating, never seen the dream. Every time that I try to, you know, go and explore, you know, different areas of creativity, I feel like I'd always get laughed at and kind of, yeah, you know what I mean? But now that they see me doing this shit, it's kind of like, oh, damn, bro, like, that's dope as fuck, bro. That's how, since when was you able to do this shit, bro? Like, man, since ever, bro. Like, I've been showing, you know? But, you know, definitely like that. And then on the other side, too, with the shop and everything, it was like a lot of people that didn't believe in us in the first get-go, you know, they come around and they're like, oh, hey, you know what I mean, like, I see what you got going on, fucking, I got an idea, fuck it, let's do this and the third, you know what I mean? And it's like, yo, you know, let's slow down, let's fucking, you know what I mean, let's work out the details first before we fucking get into something, you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely in that sense, like, I've seen a lot of things, even at this, you know, underground level that I'm at. It's crazy how humans are.
What's your dream collab?
Damn, shit, bro. Honestly, the dream collabs that I've had here, that I got them, you know. Medici, fucking Veli, fucking, were definitely the top two that I've been wanting to link with and collab on some shit. Right now, Abdiel, that motherfucker go crazy. He does corridos and shit. I can't spit in Spanish, but bro, I'd love to just, you know, sit with him and, you know, both of us work on some shit, you know, and that'd be dope to just like do that and then show my parents, you know, because, you know, they come from, you know, immigrant backgrounds, and it'd be tight to, you know, show them that, like, yeah, I could do this shit too, you know what I'm saying? And ACAL, fucking, I've been following ACAL since I met Medi, and fuck, dude, like, that fucker's been going off, bro. Shout out ACAL, shout out the homies that I just said. And Spencer, yo, if you down to do a fucking collab too, bro, let me know. Fucking get down. That should be dope.
What do you want people to remember about you?
Definitely want to inspire a lot of people. So just anything that they can obtain from me that is inspirational. I definitely don't want to be remembered from, you know, things that I might have done in my past that I do regret. But definitely, I definitely want to be remembered as somebody that inspired people to create just whatever, man. Create things that you've never seen before, you know what I'm saying? So definitely remember me as a person that is trying to do it, you know what I mean? And if I could do it, you could do it too, you know what I mean? All it takes is just to pick your phone up and start talking to it. You know, pick your phone up, get some headphones, and start making music, you know what I mean? Don't let anybody tell you that you can't, or that your equipment is too, you know, chafas, you know? Like, bro, get that shit how you get it, you feel me? So for sure.
What's next for you?
I see myself making more music, making more content, making more albums instead of mixtapes, and taking this a little more serious. Performing more, getting myself out to more people, and get a new audience for sure.
Is there anything you want to say to your supporters who support you today?
Gotta say, I love you guys. Thank you guys for always showing up. Thank you guys for always listening. It's dope, you know what I mean? Just, you know, thank you. You know, I love you guys, and I hope you guys, you know, keep rocking with me, and you know, more things to come for you guys, you know what I mean? I definitely want to show my support back as well, you know what I mean? How I can, you know what I mean? You know, showing love, you know what I mean? And yeah, making music for y'all to enjoy and to relate to, for sure.
And the last question I have for you today is, what message do you want to leave through your music?
That you can always change, that there's consequences to actions, that you know, to every action there's a reaction, you know, so there's consequences in good things and bad things. Definitely there's good times, bad times, times to laugh, times to cry, so, you know, it'll definitely, you know, resonate with y'all for sure.
All right, Hollowboy, that's it for the interview. Thank you for coming through.
Yeah, thank you for having me, bro.
And that's a wrap.
Hell yeah, thank you. Yeah, peace.